Are we on the air?
TSNE, The Season Never Ends, is the engine behind your favorite sports bar fantasy site. If your bar doesn't have it, send them our way so you can benefit from seamless draft day setups, no back and forth with staff. Just scan a QR code, pick your league spot, and customize your food and drink offers. TSNE offers quality of life tools like a mock drafter that improves each year by learning your league, automated team management if a player quits mid-season, and game time injury replacements before kickoff. With more league types and role options than any other platform, TSNE is everything you wish your fantasy platform had. You. The one still debating whether to start Patrick Mahomes this week or bench him for that rando backup QB no one's heard of. What are you doing? Stop scrolling and listen up. You know what you need in your life? More Black and Tan Sports. That's right, your one-stop podcast for fantasy football chaos, NFL hot takes, and the occasional life lesson you didn't know you needed. We're on Spotify, Amazon, Apple Podcasts, basically anywhere you can get your podcasts. So hit that subscribe button like you're smashing a waiver wire pickup for CMC. And don't forget to drop us a 5-star review. Why? Because it's not just our egos, it helps the algorithm show us some love. And let's be honest, you could use more good karma for that trade offer you just sent out. You're also going to want to join the party on social media because we're dropping fire takes all week long on X, formerly known as Twitter. We're not here to discuss Elon. We're at Black and Tan Pod. Facebook, Black and Tan Sports Pod. You know, for all you I still love my mom's memes people out there. Instagram, we got you at Black and Tan Sports Pod. Where else can you get weekly fantasy tips and questionable Photoshop edits of my co-host Dwayne's face? Oh, and YouTube, Black and Tan Sports. Subscribe there too, unless you're scared to see what fantasy football legends actually look like. So what are you waiting for? Subscribe, follow, engage. Otherwise, your fantasy team might just get cursed with a season-ending injury. Just saying. Black and Tan Sports, for the laughs, the takes, and the wins. Subscribe now, or you'll regret it later.
Draft day heat, turn the speakers up. All eyes locked on a commissioner's cup. 25 years, yeah, the legends don't stop. Fantasy dreams on the way to the top. Black and Tan Sports, we running it up. 2025, commissioner's cup. Years, yeah, the legends don't stop. Fantasy dreams on the way to the top. Black and Tan Sports, we running it up. 2025, Commissioners Cup.
Yo.
What up?
We are back once again.
We in the house, motherfuckers. We in that mother house. What it do, everybody? Welcome back. People that's joining, people that's listening in on a rebroadcast. What's up? Sorry we're late this week, right? We should have done this yesterday. But you know, life happens. What are you gonna do? But hey, it's gonna be a Thursday morning before you hear it. Birds play tonight. Let's go. Let's get into it.
Listen, sometimes, you know, you got life gets in the way and we handle business.
We handle that business, bro. All about the business. How you doing today, man?
Good. So a lot of losing this weekend, unfortunately.
Yeah. Mr. Green didn't do so well, did he?
There was a lot of Mr. Green didn't. He went, Eagles lost, Phillies lost. It's just a lot of losing, man. It's just a lot of losing this week. It's tough for me to handle.
Yeah, it's hard.
Because we've been I feel like we've been so accustomed to winning lately.
I mean, although it hasn't looked pretty, and it's been, but yeah, it's like, okay, the game was stressful. Once it's over, clock's at 0, we win by 1, 2, or 3 points. it's like, okay, that stress is behind us and whatever. But it's been, yes, you're right. It's been winning. And this week was hard. It wasn't as hard as it could have been because it was out of conference. And the Chargers on the bum team. Like, listen, people may not talk about them that much, but they came in ready to play.
Well, they were talking about, the sports announcers. They have the best stats guy ever, like, in history. So anything they ever do, they have everything right there at their fingertips. They were talking about how, like, most of the Broncos games, like, they could have been an undefeated team this year. They lost. What were they to say? I think they were saying 2 of their games, 2 out of the 4 they lost, like, on the last drive or something along those
Right.
lines, where it's like, hey, they could have actually won and they didn't end up doing it. But here's the thing, right? And I guess we'll get right into some Eagles talk, and then we'll go to Mr. Green, and then after Mr. Green, we'll give our picks for the week. But listen, the Eagles this week, they played great in that first half, and I feel like after that first half, it kind of just fell off. I feel like, I mean, maybe you can add to this a little bit, but I feel like Petula is like, he's not ready. He was a bad offensive coordinator pick. I feel like it's too much of a change up. We really got screwed when everybody left last year, and this year it's just like it's more of the same, man.
And we're talking about Kevin Petullo. You guys don't know,
right? Petullo, yeah. So he's, I just don't think he's ready. I don't think he deserves the role that he has. And I know that last year I was really, really on to Nick Sirianni, and like I was on the fire Nick Sirianni train for a long time. But it's at this point, I don't know how much of it is his fault. We were talking to the commissioner a little bit earlier, and he was talking about, as the head coach, you got to make sure that things work out and that everything works the way it should, especially when people are calling your plays and you ultimately have the final say.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, and I agree. The head coach should have stepped in and did something. But I mean, I think it's just the team itself. We're not. Listen, the way we got to the Super Bowl last year and the years before that, just in the playoffs and game 2 winning all these games, we played a balanced offense. When we got our star players involved in the first, second, and third quarter, back and forth, it seems like every week for the past 5 weeks, we've been either playing well in the first half of the game or well in the second half of the game when we're playing catch up. And we need to play a complete full 4 quarters. We don't need to dominate and come out and make 40 points in the first quarter, because if we do that, ultimately it feels like the team just stops playing and allows other teams to come from behind, pause, and catch up. And ultimately it comes down to being a nail biter of a game. Let's get 7 points. Let's get 14 points. Let's get 10 points, whatever it is. As long as we score, at least make 1 score per quarter. And again, our defense are doing what they can do, but we're also giving up crazy plays. And like last week, when we get around to talking about it, there was a lot of other key plays that happened that could have changed the outcome of the game. But we'll get into that in a minute after we go through the beginning of the show, because this is it's unacceptable the way we're playing so far this season. I mean, I'll take the 4-1. I don't want to sound all prissy and high class, but I just don't like the way we're playing.
Rightfully so. We need, when a team, because the first couple wins, the first 4 wins of this season, they kind of were they're kind of Chiefs-esque from last year, right? Last drives, there's nothing super special about the play. They're not blowouts, essentially.
Right.
So then when you lose this game against a team like the Broncos, even though this year they are playing well, you still think in your mind, okay, last year they blew them out. They're going to blow them out again this year. But there hasn't been that big blowout game yet. And we had those big blowout games last year, and that added to the confidence that you knew they were going to go to the Super Bowl and essentially win. And I talked about this a little bit earlier as well. It's like, they knocked the swagger straight out of the Chiefs from Super Bowl. The Chiefs have not been the same team since they got smoked in that Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're ever going to be the same team.
Yeah.
I don't want that to be the Eagles next year. I don't want the Eagles to come, because listen, our division is not super strong, right?
Right.
Chances are we're going to be in the playoffs once again. And then once you're in the playoffs, you kind of get in that old feeling that we've somehow grown accustomed to being into the playoffs, that, there's a good chance they end up going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
If they do, whatever team they play, the Eagles will get blown out because
if we're limping in,
pick up that play.
Because it seems like we're going to if we get, let's say it's only week 5 or whatever fuck it is, right? But if we're limping through the season right now, and again, it's the beginning of the season. And to your point that you mentioned a couple weeks ago, that you've actually been saying almost every week, you believe that there should be more playing time for the starters in preseason, which I agree, and I think it's showing up. It definitely has shown in the first 4 to 5 games, the first half of this season, the first quarter of the way through, whatever, third of the way through. It's definitely shown up because, again, like we're talking about, we're barely winning games. We're limping. We're playing, one half of a game and not the second half, or we're playing not the first half. We're playing second half. We need to play the full, complete 4 quarters. And again, partially, I think that's part of, there's a combination of things. I believe it's the preseason situation when we're not getting our starters out there. So now everybody's kind of learning how to play in actual football games together. Another part of it too, is the coaching. I mean, whether Sirianni steps up and says, "Hey, listen, cut the bullshit. Let's get back to this balanced offense that got us to Super Bowls," or the offensive coordinator to stop playing around with stuff like this. I don't know if he's experimenting with the offense or with the play calling, but it doesn't seem to work. You can't have a guy getting 5-7 yards per carry in the first half of a game and then never give him the ball again, especially a guy like Saquon Barkley.
No, and I feel like he hasn't gotten off to the start that he needs to get off to yet, and he's not on the same track as he was. I mean, last season was a record-breaking season. You don't have last season every single time,
right?
I understand that, but I just feel as though I don't know if it's the play calling. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's Patullo taking too much control and not letting Jalen do his thing, because Jalen is dynamic. He understands the field, and at first glance last season, man, I just felt like he didn't have that. But as I watch him, I appreciate his play more and more and more. And I see what kind of a quarterback he is, and he's a quarterback that gets things done. It didn't happen last week. Like you said, they completely dropped off in that second quarter. And yes, I understand they're 4-1. I get that. Believe me. Yeah. But we're not looking for just a pretty 4-1 season with a good record.
Right.
I want to see a team that's going to back-to-back. One of the hardest things in sports, a back-to-back Super Bowl. I want to see a back-to-back. And if I'm going to see a back-to-back, they need to be convincing wins for that 4-1 record. They need to be convincing. Exactly. All 4 quarters need 100. To be dominant. They have to be. If not, it's not going to give me the confidence. And I mean, listen,
and
last year I had that feeling halfway through the season they were going to win the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
But I kept saying they're never going to win it, because at that point, it was like the jinx. I had to keep doing it. Right? I don't know how much is contributing or not.
Turning it around,
But to be realistic for the season, to be more realistic, coming off a Super Bowl win, to pull off that really tough back-to-back, you're going to need to convince me more.
Yeah,
you're going to need to.
It's not by squeaking by in the fourth quarter with a field goal or a lucky interception or a lucky drop pass or something stupid like that, or again a lucky blocked, field goal to win the game and then a scoop and score. Like that never really happens, and it happened, and we're winning, and it's like, oh, that's great. It's great highlight film. But it's not the film you need to watch to be able to be a consistently dominating team. Dominating is not going out and, again, scoring 14 points per quarter in any game at 60 points or whatever it is. It's controlling the ball for 8 to 10 minutes out of a half. If you can, out of a quarter, if you can do that, getting the ball, taking the consistent drives down the field, getting those first downs, maybe having to use the tush push once or twice in a drive, but that drive ends in 7 points. At least 5 out of 6 drives, 4 out of 6 drives. It's got to end in 7 points. You need at least 30 points per game, I feel, to be in that realm of we're controlling the game, we're dominating, we're scoring at least 1 touchdown in each quarter of the game, and possibly a field goal or something like that gives us extra points, but we're actually scoring in all 4 quarters, and we're scoring on purpose and not by luck, not by interceptions, not by blocked punts, not by blocked field goal attempts. not by fumble, scoop, and score, by actually putting a plan together, running the ball, throwing the ball, marching down the field, getting those yards, putting up. Let Jalen throw 400 yards per game, or get 400 yards combined with rushing and throwing the ball. Let Saquon Barkley get his run game on. Let AJ Brown get 100-yard game. Come on, man. What are we doing? What are we doing right now?
AJ Brown too. A lot of people that are like outside of Philadelphia, I think. I think what they don't get is that with AJ Brown, that there's all this like negative media talk constantly with this guy.
Yeah. And
I don't think that people in our area and know AJ Brown really buy into all that. So I know that he is as much as he wants to be the best receiver on the team, the stud on the team, the go-to guy. That's what every competitor wants, right?
Right.
If you're a serious competitor, you want the game on your back. Exactly. When that game is on the line, you want the ball because you know you can make a difference. That's the kind of player he is. I'm sure he's a little unhappy because of the amount of possessions receptions that he's gotten. I get that, but listen, the media really has to stop blowing all that up so often because it doesn't do anything. And remember, this happened last year as well. They talked about AJ Brown not being happy, could be arguing with Jalen Hurts, all this, that, and the other. But guess what? What was happening at the very end of that season? They came together. They're always together. They may have been on the same page the whole time. We're not in a locker room to be able to tell whether or not that's something that happens or not. So
now they had a meeting this week. Brown,
I heard a 3-hour meeting, right?
Yeah, and I don't, we don't know the details of that meeting. There was some conversation that Sirianni came out and said that it's good. They're looking at things. I just hope that meeting entailed a little bit more conversation around getting these two guys the ball more. Listen, the guys that have been getting the ball this far in the season and winning the games for us, that's great. But it's starting to make us look like a weak team, and it's starting to take an effect. And again, maybe it's a good thing, and it'll come around and turn around the end of the season. But their teams are playing us differently. They're thinking that they can shut down Saquon. They're thinking they can shut down AJ Brown, and they're thinking they can shut down Hurts off the run. And if they think they're doing that, and it's actually happening, and it's not because they're doing it, it's because of our faulty play calling, then listen, then they're going to beat us. We're going to lose. We're not going to look like a Super Bowl championship team at the end of the day. I also heard something that kind of, I don't know if it bothered me or not. I said bothered me because of bringing it up. Someone was saying that Hurts doesn't know how to read defenses and doesn't know how to check out of defenses. And I was
who says this?
Haters. There's always haters. I'm watching a lot of hate mail come through. Not to me specifically, but you get in the algorithm on social media and you get people talking trash. And it's like, oh, Jalen Hurts can't. And it's obviously, a Dallas Cowboys fan or some bullshit. Jalen Hurts doesn't know how to check out of a defense and blah 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 yada yada yada. I think that's not true. I mean, he's a great quarterback. He's a very smart quarterback. He's a very focused guy. You don't see him laughing and getting on the plate. You never see a guy smile and say, "Oh, he smiled when the last time was at the Super Bowl, right? When we won." Because last time you really see the guy smile. Other than that, he's just still
squeaked it out. And that was only like a little.
Yeah, exactly. He wasn't running around.
What I appreciate about that though during the Super Bowl is when is like you could tell he was happy when his wife came on the field. Yeah, it was like that second embrace and like they both look so happy. Dude,
yeah.
Good on the inside.
It's a long road, man. It's a long road.
All right. Well, listen. Some key stats here. We have Hurts threw for 280 yards, 2 touchdown passes, one to Dallas Goedert, and then almost a 50-yard play to Saquon Barkley. Yeah. So that was a plus, right? Devontae Smith had 8 receptions. He continues to be the guy, in my opinion.
And I like that.
In the second half, Eagles went 0 yards on 14 plays.
Right. Like, what the fuck is that?
And throughout the seasons, though, very interesting is that Denver piled up, 154 of their total,
which is absolutely insane.
Yards in the fourth quarter alone.
Fourth quarter, right? Like it's like our defense just gave up, and we say, you know what? Let's just let them come down the field and win the game. I was like, we lost the game. I called it. I was so pissed off.
I want to talk, but also one more thing too. And I don't like hanging my hat on this. I talk about this in sports, period, whether it's on a soccer field with my son or otherwise, right?
Yeah.
You never want to leave the game in the hands of the referees. You want to win convincingly enough where those calls, if they get missed or whatever, just don't matter, right?
Yeah.
The refereeing was so piss poor in this game.
Absolutely horrible.
That it was disgraceful. Dallas Goedert was tackled to the ground before he even touched the ball. It should have been offensive interference. I mean, it should have been defensive interference.
I mean, DPI
on that second to last play of the game.
Yeah, and that would have. Listen, again, we should be winning convincingly, and we shouldn't be down to a field goal difference winning the game because we should be punching the ball in all 4 quarters. But you're right. That pass interference call, that missed pass interference call, that was the win for us.
It was.
Put us on the first and goal at the 2-yard line. We're getting a touchdown. It's but you don't get the call, you don't get the score. And it's the referees, and it's not just against the Eagles, because you can see it around the league where there's a lot of games. I'm starting to watch a lot more games, and like as I'm working, I've got them on the background, and I'm starting to see a lot of referees are missing a lot of these penalties. I don't know, like, why isn't the instant replay booth stepping in and saying, hey, this is clearly a pass interference. You guys missed it. Stop the play. Give them the first and goal or whatever the fuck it is. Like, what are we missing here? You have 16 billion cameras on the field. You have instant replay or replay assist that's always recording and looking at everything. So why aren't they using that to say, hey, referee, you missed this call. We're making you throw, but I guess it's because you got to throw the flag when you see it, and if nobody sees it, they can't step in and say, "Hey, you missed this." I don't know. I think
part of it too is that I think inevitably within like the next 10 years, probably there's going to be a point where you're just not going to have the need for a referee anymore, regardless of the sport, because of the amount of cameras. Whether it's baseball, the umpire strike, the umpire strike zone. What do you need an umpire in the strike zone for? Yeah, the Empire when it struck back. And,
you got all kinds of cameras on that crew right there. Empire Strikes Back.
That was huge. About as much as during that fake moon landing. But anyway, it's like, when did they just get phased out completely? And if you leave it in the hands where you can challenge every single play, it's like
the game will never end.
It's not even that. It's that you're just going to phase out referees because there are so many cameras on the field that the referees aren't going to exist anymore. And then you're into a game where there's like every single thing is called.
You'll never finish a game. You'll never finish. They said that was one of the things years ago. They were saying, there's so many penalties on every play. It's just determines on which referee is looking at you and if you get caught. And I think that goes back to what I was trying to get at, was what I was saying before. All those cameras, and I'm pissed because they didn't catch on, replay assist that pass interference on the 2-yard line. It was so obvious. Like, how can you not see it? But again, that's the human error. That's the human element of the game, right? Every play, there's penalties. There's referees on the field. They can't be looking at everybody's play every time. There's 7 or 8 referees on the field, maybe 6. I don't know. But you can't see everything in every time at all moments. And that also is part of the element of the game. You know what I mean? So going back to what I'm saying before, we got to play clean. We got to play consistently. We got to play complete 4 quarters. If we are dominating and we're playing the game we're supposed to play, that we've been playing, then these penalties really don't affect us.
Yeah, we absolutely have to dominate. There's without question, we have to dominate.
Because if we're going to get penalized or if we're going to miss penalties like this, we got to play a clean game, no bullshit penalties on our end, and get in the end zone.
I agree.
High water.
All right, let's hit this. Let's hit this, Mr. Green.
All right, let's go, Mr. Green, my man, back in the house. Let's see what he has to say this week about Joe Flacco.
Herbie's got his eye on the game, throwing naughty bets, never playing tame. A little unhinged, but he's here to play. Welcome to Herbie's Hail Marys today.
Mr. Green. Welcome back, sir.
Mr. Green did not have a good week last week. If the Eagles in Kansas City wins, I would have had a winning week. But they both lost. I had a really bad week. Let's forget about last week. Let's concentrate on this week. First game up, I'm looking at Arizona against the Colts. I will be taking the Colts. I told you before, the Colts are a really good team. They should be undefeated. Arizona, they really stink. They had a 21-6 lead last week. Guy going in for a touchdown. Once again, hot dogging it. Loses the ball on the 1 yard line. Tuts back. Next thing you know, Titans all the way. Titans came back to beat them. It ain't nobody going to beat that guy from South Jersey. Jonathan Taylor, great running back. He's unstoppable. Just back to Cole.
I thought he was going to say, isn't Flacco from Jersey?
He is. He's from like that Westville area, but you saw what happened with Flacco, and I'm not sure if Mr. Green's going to bring up or not, but he got traded to the Browns, dude.
Did he really?
Yeah. No, not the Browns. Yeah, he got traded. He got traded yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I didn't know that. That's interesting.
The Colts. Next game up is going to be the Dallas Cowboys against Carolina. I'm backing the Dallas Cowboys. Dak Prescott is having MVP numbers. I know they don't have Lamb anymore. He's out for the season. But this guy, George Pickens, he's probably better than Lamb. He's picking up exactly where he left off at. And all Prescott does is throw the ball to him all day long. They have a good running game, too. It's no way in the world Carolina's going to stop the Cowboys. You see what the Cowboys did last week. They destroyed the Jets. I think they're only one game behind the Eagles. Cowboys are looking to get to the Super Bowl this year. Back to Cowboys. Next game, New England is playing the Saints. I know they don't have Bill Belichick anymore, and they don't have Tom Brady anymore, but they do have this guy, May. He went to North Carolina. Matter of fact, that's where Belichick's coaching. But anyway, May is a great quarterback. And I'm not sure if you've seen them play last week. They played the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo. They were undefeated, Buffalo. Well, they went to Buffalo, and they actually beat them. Diggs had an unbelievable game. Stefan Diggs.
He did have an unbelievable game.
Yeah.
He had a really good game.
Yeah.
And Flacco went.
Dude, that game was great. That game was crazy. I couldn't believe
it was great. Of course, I'm watching it because I don't want there to be an undefeated team in the NFL.
Right.
So the fact that the Bills were losing that game, I was like, oh my God, Allen had a terrible game.
Yeah.
The thing about the Bills, right, is that if he doesn't have a good game, it's like they lose.
Oh yeah, Allen. Yeah. Yeah. It's almost like, if his game is off, the rest of the team just falls apart right with him.
Yeah, and Flacco was traded to Bengals, by the way.
Yeah, I was looking at that.
And the Phillies are 1-1 tied. Not that it matters in this football podcast.
That's all right. Yeah, man. Hold on. He went back to the Colts, right? Colts are nasty. They look kind of dangerous. I mean, they're 4-1, and they played a hell of a game last week. They beat the
Colts?
No, I'm saying the Colts look good. I mean,
they don't look bad.
Yeah, I mean, the Raiders aren't that good of a team.
They were a disaster 2 years ago.
Right.
Anyway, May is a great quarterback. And, they went to Buffalo, and they actually beat them. Diggs had an unbelievable game. Stefan Diggs played for Minnesota. Then he actually played for Buffalo. Buffalo got rid of him. He went to New England. That pissed him off. And he actually went back to Buffalo, Sunday night and had a great game. I think what he had, like 150 yards. Well, maybe not 150, but he really had a really good game. And they actually beat Buffalo. New England's doing really good this year. They really are. They're playing the Saints. Come on, man. The Saints. Just take New England. You're not going to lose. All right, next game up, I'm looking at the San Diego Chargers against Miami. San Diego lost again last week. That's like 2 losses in a row. Miami, not a good football team at all. I do like the Chargers this week. I really do. Herbert is going to have a really good game. He will pass for over 300 yards this week. And their defense is actually pretty good for San Diego.
He's bold with those predictions, bro.
Listen, listen, Mr. Green. I know you're listening right now. Let's relax on the 300 plus yards passing prediction and just focus on actually winning.
Right.
San Diego. I know they're playing on the road. It doesn't matter. Just take San Diego. The other game I'm looking at is the 49ers against Tampa Bay. I'm actually going to back Tampa Bay. I'm not sure if you've been watching Tampa Bay play this year, but Baker Mayfield, he's putting up MVP stats, just like Prescott. Two good quarterbacks. The 49ers, someone just told me Joe Montana don't play for the 49ers anymore. If Joey's not playing for the 49ers, they have no chance whatsoever going to Tampa Bay and beating them. Tampa Bay is going to romp the 49ers. You're going to have a West Coast team going all the way to the East Coast. I told you guys before, when a West Coast travels all the way to the East Coast and it's a 1 o'clock game, you got to take the East Coast team. And the numbers that Mayfield's putting up, just trust me on this one. Back Tampa Bay, it'd be an easy winner. And guys, I usually don't do this, but because I had a losing week last week, I'm actually going to throw a bonus game your way. I'm looking at the Thursday night game. You got the Philadelphia Eagles playing the Giants. This game is, to me, is probably the easiest game on the board, but I wasn't going to play it, but I have no choice but to play it. You got to back the Eagles.
Someone's holding a gun to his head. You gotta play it. You gotta play it.
I usually don't do this because I hate the Eagles, but
2 weeks in a row now, I'll back the Eagles.
Back the Eagles, which he did last week, right?
Yep.
We shit the bed.
So
hopefully it's not 2 weeks in a
my
row.
chagrin. Yep, to my chagrin.
Question to you is, when was the last time you see the Eagles losing back-to-back games? You give up? Well, you know what? I give up too. I really don't know, but it doesn't matter. They're not going to lose back-to-back games, especially playing the Giants. There's no way in the world. The Eagles this week, they're going to click on all cylinders. Their offense, their defense, running game, passing game, you're not going to stop them. You're not going to stop them. Same thing about this game with Barkley. Barkley's actually going back to the Meadowlands. The team he played for. He played for the Giants. Giants looked at him and said, you know what? You're done. You're never going to be a good player anymore. We're going to let you go. What they do, they let him go. Eagles picked him up last year, and he helped the Eagles win the Super Bowl. So you seen what Diggs did Sunday night? Barkley's going to do the same thing Thursday night. Barkley's going to have 150 yards rushing. I see the Eagles winning this game 51-17. So let's recap.
51-17.
Hold
Jesus.
Again.
What the fuck is he talking about?
Again, Saquon Barkley's going to have 400 yards rushing.
That's crazy.
And the Eagles are going to win 103-7.
He's smoking weed. Put the weed down, Mr. Green. Come on, bro. Okay, we haven't really been scoring like that. That's crazy, especially against. Listen, the Giants aren't that good this season, but you can't listen. Every time we play someone in our fucking division in our conference,
It's a tough game.
It's a tough game, no matter
He
how.
is right though about a lot of the. I do think that Saquon will have a better game. I just think that naturally you're going to want to do it, but
Right,
boy,
that's a lot.
Let's
That was a
recap.
lot.
I'm taking the Colts, the Dallas Cowboys, New England, Tampa Bay, San Diego Chargers, and the Philadelphia Eagles. Let's go 6-0 this week, guys.
6-0. All right.
6-0. I'll take a 6-0.
Take a 6-0. If he could pull this off, that'll be crazy. If he pulls all 6 of these off, he's picking all home teams too. I mean, away teams.
Well, we'll see.
Except for the Bucks.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. All right. Well, listen. Let's decompress. Let's decompress off of Mr. Green's wild prediction.
Yeah. Listen, I'm writing shit down. I'm thinking.
He said Saquon Barkley is going to have 2,000 yards rushing in one game and break the record this year.
all day. He's going to just run up and down
He
the
said
field.
the Eagles are going to beat the Giants 3,470-3.
He's going to be doing suicides on the field, up and down between the 100-yard, the goal lines, back and forth.
Yeah.
That's
All right,
funny.
let's go with some of our picks. Do you want me to start? You want to start?
You start. It's always good when you start.
All right, we'll do our up and coming.
All right.
Our up and coming is going to be first here, and I'm going to pick Ryan Flournoy, wide receiver for the Cowboys. Why did I pick a rando wide receiver for the Cowboys? Well, he just started last week, and he led in reception and targets. He had 9 targets in last week's game, and he caught 6 of them. He had 114 yards.
Yeah.
CeeDee Lamb is hurt still. Mr. Green mentioned it. He's out for the season, right? And now the Cowboys and Dak Prescott are trying to figure out which targets they want to hit. And Prescott, again, he has had a pretty good season. He's had an enormous amount of rush of passing yards this season already. I think he tripled with Hurts what Hurts has had.
Dude, Prescott's looking really good. Like this is his thing. He plays well throughout the season.
Right.
They just can't get over the hump. Yeah.
But obviously too, who's Flournoy, who's heard of this guy? He's probably somebody you can find on the wire. And as the defenses are now thinking to themselves, oh, we got to go cover Pickens more, I feel like it's just going to open up for Roy Moore, and he'll be able to exploit some of those mismatches.
Right, because Lamb is out, so they're going to pick on Pickens. But then it opens this guy up. I mean, he had a great week last week. People thinking, oh, maybe it's a fluke or whatever. But Dak is a great quarterback. If you can get the ball to your hands, this guy's got pretty good hands. He could be dangerous. I like him. I like him for this week, especially what they're playing the Panthers.
Oh, guys, real quick, there's some breaking news here. I just got a message from Mr. Green. Mr. Green just hit him. He said, I'm going to read it like him. All right. Mr. Green here. I got some inside information. Joe actually gave me a call, Joe Flacco, and he knew before the Minnesota game was over in London that he was getting traded to Cincinnati. That's why he didn't play on Sunday. He's been watching a lot of films on how Cincinnati runs out offense and knows how Chase runs.
Okay.
The roots. I think he did talk to text here. So there's a strong chance that I'm reading some BS that wasn't even typed, because it looks like it's all one sentence.
Yeah, it's a run-on sentence.
It's a run-on sentence here.
And he probably did type it out.
The Roots Lotto is going to pass for 350 yards on Sunday. And don't be surprised if Cincinnati upsets Green Bay in Green Bay. Joe is going to run that offense in Cincinnati, and he's going to be back. Just wait and see. I have confidence in Joe Flacco. Well, I'm glad that you have confidence in Joe Flacco. Because just about almost every team in the NFL at this point has had confidence in him at least once.
Yes.
How many teams did you trade to this guy?
Listen, he went to the Browns, right? That's crazy. Or Cincinnati.
Yep, to Cincinnati. All right, you want to hit the sleeper?
Yeah, let's do this. Let me do a sleeper. This week, I'm going to pick Kendrick Bourne, wide receiver for the San Francisco 49ers. Now, listen, in week 5, with top receivers out and QB injuries, Bourne caught 10 out of 11 targets for 142 yards. I mean, since he's been on the Niners, since he's emerged in the Niners offense, well, attention is elsewhere. I mean, Mac Jones is spreading the ball around. I mean, Bourne and Jones, I think, maybe 2 peas in the pod. They're on the same page, at least. They're more on the same page than Hurts and Brown on our side. So I think that these two may surprise you this week, because, I mean, basically with everything that's going on in the Niners, they're trying to figure things out as they go along, which kind of sucks for the team. But at the same time, it's hard for a defense to come to a game with these new players, and they're switching everything around to know that, because where's the game tape? Where's the game film? It's not there. So, I mean, picking up a guy like Kendrick, I mean, it might be a good deal because they're still trying to figure things out. And the guy 10 of 11 last week, so he's going to get targets this week. So, I mean, listen, what's the chances of him getting the ball, thrown to him, another 10, 11, 12 times this season,
Right.
this game itself, and then possibly, a touchdown or two because there's no tape on the guy. They don't know how to cover him. I mean, there's some tape from last week, but that's not all tricks in his bag. So, there's basically going to be a surprise on that end of the field, on that side of the ball. I mean, and I think he would be a great pick if you can get him, pick him up and then sit, whoever you want to look like sitting. That's not really getting you any points so far.
Yep.
But, again, just the downside to that is, they lose them a lot. Now, again, the other side of the coin, they used them a lot last week. Will they go back to it again this week? We don't know. Yeah, and I mean, they've got a full roster of wide receivers. Is this guy going to get comfortable? But I mean, who you don't know how he's going to play. We don't have that much tape on the guy, in the NFL. But again, this is one of those opportunities for these guys to get in, and they're going to play hard. Once you get off that bench and get into that field, that's where you solidify your spot either on that team or another team next year. But that's that paycheck right there. So these weeks and these new guys coming in because of injuries, these guys are the guys who are going to play hard and try to get a spot on that roster, or maybe go to another team next year. But they're going to get some goddamn game film for them to be able to market themselves. So that's where these guys become dangerous, where it's like, again, injured team trying to figure out who's going to be that number one receiver, and it's up for grabs. And this guy's going to come out and say, "Hey, listen, I did 10 of 11 last week."
Yep.
They're going to look for him again. So I mean, that I think that's one of the better picks that I've seen so far these weeks, as far as a great sleeper pick for you guys out there, or ladies.
Well, let's go the opposite end of the spectrum now. And
okay.
I think that Mr. Green, whose favorite team is the Vikings, is really going to love my bum pick this week. Because the bum pick this week is Adam Thielen from the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, he used to be really good too.
He did. And this is why he's a bum now, all right? He's getting dropped in a lot of leagues. If you look across and read the different websites about, all about, different fantasy picks and everything like that.
Yeah.
They're dropping them, right? Heading into week 6, they're definitely dropping him. It's because he's barely getting involved. They can't even listen. Minnesota barely even knows who their quarterback's going to be, let alone get it to Thielen. There's no type of like comfortability there for them, right? He's played snaps without even a single target. Okay, and even when teams are like in passing situations, they're not looking towards Thielen.
Yeah.
Right now, his snap share is super low. It's only like 16 and 22% in some of them to past recent games. Mm-hmm. Again, even when there's games that are higher passing chances, and so he just doesn't have it up there anymore.
I mean, his percentage, his yardage and everything are dropping from year to year. I think he's becoming one of those guys where he's not really going to get a lot of passes, but if he's on the field, he's going to keep you honest. And he's more there to keep the defense honest so they can, utilize other players, either spread the defense out and get more running plays in, or throw the ball to somebody else. But, I mean, if you have him, I don't think I would start him this week. It doesn't look like he's really going to get, many points for you. Hey, go back and pick up Bourne. Jesus Christ, it's Kendrick Bourne.
It's Kendrick Bourne.
Kendrick Bourne.
Yeah, and he's also he's facts are facts here. He's a little bit older too for the league. So.
Yeah, he's older. But then he's been in the league for a minute. But that's that.
We want to end this on one more message from Mr. Green here. He keeps sending messages.
Let's see what he's got to say.
This is Joe Flacco. This is his obsession. Joe Flacco is a winner. He started it when he was a little boy when he won a championship for Audubon, a 120-pound football team. Then went on and played high school football for Audubon and then led them to the South Jersey Championship. Then he actually won the Pitt in college, but the coach didn't like him. Went to Pitt in college, but then the coach didn't like him and didn't play them. So his dad moved him to Delaware once again, where he wins a championship for Delaware. Okay. I feel like if there's a biography to be written,
Mr. Green should do it.
Should write about Joe Flacco.
And Taylor Swift. What happened to Taylor Swift this week? We didn't hear anything about Taylor Swift.
No, that's because I think maybe the music is a little too risky for him now, like everybody else is complaining about. A little too risky. He's moving on.
He's moving on.
He said, then this is the biography of Joe Flacco. If everybody, according to Mr. Green, if anybody's curious, then he gets drafted by the Baltimore Ravens, and guess what? He wins the Super Bowl for the Ravens. Then he gets traded to Cleveland Browns, and they stink. And he led them to 2 playoff wins, and then following ended up losing the game. Now is with Cincinnati, and I think Cincinnati was just in the Super Bowl a few years ago. Now he's going to lead Cincinnati. And don't be surprised if he wins the Super Bowl this year. Joe Flacco is a proven winner. Why? You think Joe Flacco is Nick Foles?
Dude, he has the wildest predictions. Like, he says it with such conviction. And again, I mean, he has the inside line. I guess he and
he was talking to him on the phone earlier. He said,
"Yeah, they're pen pals." Listen. I just want to say one thing. Last night or Monday night's game, Chiefs Jaguars, was insane. It was a great game, and the Jags pulled it off 28-31. There was a huge pick six, that 99-yard pick six from an inside linebacker. I mean, Patrick Mahomes was trying to do his Patrick magic, but again, going back to this Chiefs team, playing like Eagles playing like them last year, the Chiefs doing this thing this year. The Chiefs defense gives up a lot of points, and so do we, which is scary because these are supposed to be 2 top teams in the NFL.
Right.
And I mean, the Chiefs gave up what? I don't know how many yards. Total yards 400. No, yeah, they gave up 319 yards on offense, where the Jaguars the Jaguars gave up 476. But still, I mean, that's a lot of yards for.
It is a lot of yards.
Game. And the Chiefs had 13 penalties. Like, that's crazy. And Chiefs had 1 turnover, which was for a pick six. But anyway, it was good to see the Chiefs lose, especially against the Jaguars, because, fuck the Chiefs. That's how I feel.
Right.
What are you going to do?
Right.
Fight
All right,
me?
guys, listen. Thanks for hanging out with us this week. Thanks for chatting. Thanks for the excitement, Mr. Green, with his messages. We appreciate that as well. Hopefully you got some good picks this week, but
we'll see.
It's time for us to shut her on down.
Shut her on down. I'll see you guys. I'm going to the game tomorrow, so go Birds. I'll try to make some video out there. Maybe I'll catch somebody talking some shit in the parking lot. I'm going to talk some shit tomorrow in the parking lot for real, so look for that on social media platforms. Holla.
Yeah, check it on out. And you can find our social media platforms right here. Yo, you. Yeah, you. The one still debating whether to start Patrick Mahomes this week or bench him for that rando backup QB no one's heard of. What are you doing? Stop scrolling and listen up. You know what you need in your life? More Black and Tan Sports. That's right, your one-stop podcast for fantasy football chaos, NFL hot takes, and the occasional life lesson you didn't know you needed. We're on Spotify, Amazon, Apple Podcasts, basically anywhere you can get your podcasts. So hit that subscribe button like you're smashing a waiver wire pickup for CMC. And don't forget to drop us a 5-star review. Why? Because it's not just our egos, it helps the algorithm show us some love. And let's be honest, you could use more good karma for that trade offer you just sent out. You're also going to want to join the party on social media because we're dropping fire takes all week long. On X, formerly known as Twitter, we're not here to discuss Elon. We're at Black and Tan Pod. Facebook, Black and Tan Sports Pod. For all you, I still love my mom's memes people out there. Instagram, we got you at Black and Tan Sports Pod. Where else can you get weekly fantasy tips and questionable Photoshop edits of my co-host Dwayne's face? Oh, and YouTube, Black and Tan Sports. Subscribe there too, unless you're scared to see what fantasy football legends actually look like. So what are you waiting for? Subscribe, follow, engage. Otherwise, your fantasy team might just get cursed with a season-ending injury. Just saying. Black and Tan Sports, for the laughs, the takes, and the wins. Subscribe now, or you'll regret it later.